So this word complementary, that means when you have two different events and you can only have one or the other. So a complementary event could be something like heads or tails, assuming of course that it doesn't land on the ridge. So if it could have only two options, then they are complementary. So one example could be that it rains and it doesn't rain. So if you had an event A happening, let's say the probability of it rains is A, and that is 2/5. What would the probability be that it doesn't rain? So for every 5 days, 2 of them rain, then there would be 3 of the days where it doesn't rain, and that could be written as 3/5. And you can spot that if you add them together, you'll always get 1. So a complementary event could be written in this way. So if you have the probability of A happening plus the probability of not A, and not A is shown with the dash on it, that means not A. Then if by adding the two probabilities together you always get 1. And it's written slightly differently underneath. And the reason for that is because it's easier to find out what the probability of not raining is just by doing 1 minus this one. So if the probability that it will rain tomorrow is 1/5, what's the probability that it won't rain tomorrow? The answer will just be 1 minus 1/5, and that's why they're using that second formula there, which would be 4/5. And so that's a very basic introductory question. The second one is to say that we have a die has been renumbered so that the probability of obtaining an even number is now 2/3. So assuming that this means a 6-sided die, it doesn't really say here, but it should do, then it's going to be just a normal cube. And normally you'd have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But it's been renumbered so that 2/3 of the numbers should be even. And at the moment, a half of them are even. You've got this one, and this one, and this one. But to make it 2/3, you're changing the probability here. You could be making this one into a 10, for example. And therefore, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 6, which is the same as 2/3. But it's not really asking for that. It's just simply asking for the probability of obtaining an odd number, which is 1 minus 2/3. So 1 minus 2/3 is 1/3. So it's really as straightforward as that. You can have a go at the exercises now, I think.